Good morning, Adam, and hello, Super Bowl as well. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm Wave meteorologist Brian Goode. Sometimes I go by Ryan Hoke. Depends on the day of the week. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the blog here. Obviously, very, very quiet. So very chilled, laid back setup here for the blog this week. Nice to be able to be in that mode right after such a busy spring and really a busy summer that we've had. Hasn't been a bad summer. It's just been busy. A lot of ups and downs we've had this season. But when it comes to avoiding the really bad stuff on extremes, we've actually been fairly lucky compared to our neighbors all around us. And that includes flooding and drought. All that has been pretty wild. We've had our bouts of severe weather, don't get me wrong. But even in those instances, it was not nearly as, sorry, everything gets planned, not nearly as bad as what it could have been. Now, putting that in perspective, as we evolve here the next few weeks, we're going to see a lot of changes back and forth. I still don't see a lot of significant moisture coming our way. So I do think one of the bigger topics not only will be on the temperatures going back and forth, but certainly will be on the drought status, which has been teasing us off and on. But I do think we'll try to at least try to lock on for the fall season, which is not unusual. We did this last year. We got all the way up to the 28th of August. We hit 99. The hottest of the entire year was, again, in late August. And then we went right into a drought status into September, because typically September and October are driest times of the year. So it's not a shock that that was the case for last year. And we held on to that drought status until we got into the severe weather in the spring. So let's hope we don't see that kind of a repeat. I'm hoping that a lot of you farmers out there have been okay this summer, to where the dry pattern that will be coming will only be good just to get harvest out of the way without any issues at all. So that's what I'm hoping will be the plus side. All right, more on that in a second. I do want to mention the lows this morning, which again is another big story. I mean, 61 here in Louisville, not bad. We'll take it. Certainly allowed for the AC to shut off for a while, right? Lowest in Kentucky, I was able to find about 53 in our area in a way. Meade County, once again, pretty similar story too across Indiana. And this is not the coolest we're going to see. This is just the very edge or the leading wave of this that will come into play. Here's a live look from New Albany, but I also want to show you a live look from the Kentucky State Fair. Obviously, this is big because today is not only Senior Day, but it's also Wave News Day at the fair. Tawana and Shannon are already arriving there right now, and they'll be live coming up on midday. I'll be out there this afternoon for the 3 o'clock show. Kevin's going to be out there as well. And so come out and say hello. We'll be in the South Wing lobby area, which is going to be to the right of your screen. That's what we'll be located at. Usually the spot. You guys have been able to find us every year, right? So it'll be the typical spot we're located at in the South Wing lobby. So come say hello, because the weather is going to be great. So this usually helps on the crowds on dispersing them between these exhibits on the inside and getting the food and any of the entertainment outside. So kind of even some of the crowd out. That does help when you have really hot days. Everyone's inside. So this is a really great setup to be able to have some space and be able to walk around and see everything that you want to see. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of these cool days like this. And it's going to be busy out there all day today, especially being a Senior Day. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks out there. And again, try to get those corn dogs, funnel cakes, and elephant ears. Although I'm biased, I think elephant ears are better than funnel cakes. Type 1 if you agree. Type 1 if you agree. Here's the latest look at the radar and satellite. Got a few clouds out there. It looks ominous, like it's going to be an overcast day. That's just because of the angle of a sunrise, the way it lights up the bellies of the clouds in the distance. It looks like a lot of overcast. In reality, it's actually mainly clear. So it will be a really beautiful day today. The air flow is a bit odd here. Well, odd in a sense of what we've been used to, but not odd in normal weather patterns in our area. But certainly we've got this north wind that has been just diving the dry and cool air to the south. And there's your heat and humidity staring us down to the west, trying to advance east, but it just will not be able to do so. So we have a fortress, if you will, a wall that is up. to be able to protect us. Let me get rid of the clouds and just look at the radar. You see it's quiet. Some showers offshore, showers around Omaha. All right, I see a lot of ones. All right, good. Everyone likes the elephant ears. I'll make sure to inform Myra of that, since she seems to disagree. Okay, you can see the dry push of air all the way down to I-10. Pretty impressive for summer standards. All right, certainly cuts down on anything on the tropics, right? I mean, it's anything tries to come toward the United States, it's either going to head due west into Mexico, or it's going to get turned way before it gets to the United States and head out to sea. So this is not a pattern to allow tropical systems to get involved in the southeast corner of the country. So that's a plus. We may be wanting one, at least a fading one down the road to give us some rain, considering how dry it will likely be. All right, here are the latest numbers. These are current temperatures outside in Louisville. We are at 65, still in the 50s as you head across portions of the Poconos, and even some 70s down in the deep south. But still, look at all the 60s for the morning hours in summer. This is nice, because usually it's a struggle to even try to get below 80 around here. So we will take it. Low temperatures for tonight and tomorrow morning. Once again, a bit lower, perhaps in the mid 50s. May even get a few spots that we could get into a few upper 40s. In fact, I think 40s are likely this week. Won't be in the city of Louisville. But I do think in Meade County and the valleys here into central Kentucky, and then certainly across southern Indiana, we're going to get some 46, 47s out of this kind of a pattern. And we usually do in this kind of a setup. You can already tell Richmond, Kentucky got the 48. So it's pretty easy to do around here. So we should have that probably Thursday morning. I think that would probably be the coolest of the mornings will be Thursday, but cool and dry, comfortable during the day. We're going to score a couple days here in the 70s for highs. Not bad. How long will that last? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because as we head into the weekend, it may not seem like it, but there will be a rise in temperature for the weekend, and the ground's going to continue to dry out. And as you dry the ground out, and still with a decent sun angle at the moment, you actually can escalate a drought status, and you can escalate your heat that will build in. So as we lose some of the ground moisture that we've got now, which is keeping things relatively tame, that's when the thermometer can easily get into the low to mid 90s. And the potential is certainly there to repeat last year and do it again and go with upper 90s. I don't know if we'll get to that 99 like we did last year, but if there's ever a time this summer that we're going to get above the 96, which is the hottest so far, not that I'm cheering that on by any stretch, but if there's going to be a time this summer, it's going to be with this heat wave coming our way. Because after that, things get a little wicked. So when will this change up? Well, I think the heat will hold on until we get a front to come through. It's going to have to be a change of air mass to shake things up. Right now, that is showing hints maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday, more likely Thursday. And that's a pretty potent front. I mean, you can tell by looking at this. This is going to be another front that is going to allow for another drop in temperature, perhaps a significant one, as we head into the last couple of days there of August and head into beginning of September. Will we get thunderstorms out of this setup with that much of a drop? Well, normally I would say yes. The reason why I'm cautious on that with this is that we are likely going to enter a drought status. And once you're in that status, to get the moisture you need to build up for showers and storms really gets yanked out of the atmosphere. So it's a little tougher for thunderstorms to really connect into a line. You may get some severe weather along that front, but as far as a widespread event, it's a little tougher with this kind of an environment that is taking place. In fact, when you look at the CSU, the Colorado State learning module for severe weather, notice it's quiet for us until we get to about next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when we start to enter the low end severe scale. I think it's going to be a little later than that, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I like Thursday right now. Seems to be standing out for maybe a chance that we would see maybe some gustier thunderstorms. We'll see how that plays out. But after that, I see several more cool shots of air. This is the CFS model, which can be a little wild from run to run, but looking at it collectively over the past week and a half, I've been monitoring it, and it did very well in sniffing out this current cool blast, FYI. It has at least 3 of them that will be dropping down as we head into the month of September, maybe trying to heat up in between them all. But I see one the first week of September, mid-September, and late September, which tells you they're fairly evenly spaced out. So will we have an early fall? I don't know on that. I'm always afraid to say that around here. But it does look to be at least the heat constantly looks to be interrupted. And therefore, fall is really going to try to fight hard this year. And once you get past this point, you get into mid to late September. We've been in the 90s before in October, but boy, it's tough. You got to be in a drought for sure. And you've got to be in a drought for a lengthy amount of time, more than a month. And you can get the build, and you can get into the 90s like we did in 2019. That is indeed possible. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. It just doesn't look like it to me. I think we're going to keep getting these cold interruptions, but mainly cold and dry. So we could still be talking about a drought status coming our way. All right, let's get right into the outlook and get some of your questions. Notice, by the way, on the numbers side there, we've got 90s, well, 70s the next couple of days. What a 10-day. 70s to 80s to 90, then into the mid 90s, maybe upper 90s, and back in the lower 90s. And if I were to extend that out one more day, it would be in the lower 80s. So we almost do a full circle in the next 10 to 15 days. We'll see. Question about Labor Day weekend. Right now, Melanie, I'm still working on that end. There will be a front in the first week of September. Whether or not it's near Labor Day or not, that's what we hope to answer. Not quite there yet to be able to answer that, but soon, very soon. Kathy, farmers have been busy cutting hay here for the second time in Trumbull County. Yeah, I bet. It's been a really good season for growing, the amount of moisture we've had. So really the harvest time period to get dry weather is not bad. Kind of expected, actually. What time will you be at the fair, Angela? I would be there probably, I would say by 2 o'clock. I should be there for sure, because I got to be on the air at 3. Now, will I be at the booth? At some point, I will be at the booth there in the South Wing, but I'm also going to be live for the newscast, so I may be all over the place. So you may see me with the cows. I don't know. Just look everywhere. I should be pretty easy spot. I'll be the short one. Hey, Travis, welcome back. Winter's around the corner when you see Travis Garrity back into the chat again, up in northern Indiana. Let's see. Angie, no 90s for my birthday in the middle of October. No, I hope not. That is miserable. Anytime you're hot after it's when it's supposed to be on the first day of fall, it just really gets annoying, right? So I'm hoping we have a nice little transition there to a nice, cool setup this summer. Just be aware that your annuals, I'm not sure if you're going to try to save your annuals or not. I usually, when you get to a heat wave this late in the season, I'm like, okay, I'll just let them do their thing for the rest of the year, because we're getting to the end of the season. That's up to you. If you want to save them, you're going to have to do some watering here, guys, because, again, not much in the way of moisture or water at all coming our way for a while. But gorgeous weather for all the outdoor events. That is a huge plus. All right, I got to run and get things ready for the midday show again. I hope to see at least some of you coming up at the Kentucky State Fair later today. Take care, guys.